Hey guys, so if you are tuning in right now, it's probably because of the outrageous title, right? Seems really crazy. Why I don't care about the Parkland, Florida shooting. So we're just going to dig into a few points today that I was just thinking about and I felt really compelled to share. I believe we're all given platforms, whether it's through our Instagrams or our blogs or vlogs or in politics or through our clothing if you're a fashion designer, or if through your music and your words if you're a lyricist, a poet, an artist. So an athlete, whoever, whatever you are, whatever you do, we're all given some sort of platform, some small, some medium, some large. We're supposed to use them to talk. So don't let people silence you and tell you that your ideas are stupid. So I'm voicing mine. You can agree with it or you don't have to. It's okay. I think that what I'm going to relay today can really resonate with anybody with a brain. So how's that? Okay, so let's dig into it. Why I don't particularly care about the Parkland, Florida shooting. So again, I know that title seems really outrageous. It seems really crazy. It's like, hey, Takara, how can you be a human being and not care about the shooting? So I'm going to bring you step by step as to what exactly I mean by me not caring. You know, for starters, this is the 18th shooting of this year. We haven't even reached 60 days, people, of 2018, and we've already had 18 shootings in schools, mass shootings. So, seems kind of strange, right? It's absolutely outrageous, more outrageous than this title even. And it seems like time and time again, the same things happen. Crazy person shoots up school, people get injured, people die. We post on our Facebook or our social media and we talk about, oh, let's pray and our prayers and our thoughts, and we hold vigils or concerts or whatever it may be. And then we kind of seemingly move on a few days later, a week later, a month later, depending on how large or how many, casualties there were, right? So we dwell on it for a little bit, we post a status, whatever, and we move right along, and nothing seems to change. And then again, we have another shooting, and another shooting, and another shooting. Get the pattern? At what point do we say we need to start doing more than just praying? We need to start doing more than just posting a really cool meme that shows my support for the town or the city or the country or whatever it may be. We need to actually start doing things. Now, I'm a Christian, so I believe in the power of prayer. I think it's amazing to pray for people, whether things are good or bad, right? I believe in that. But when there are no actionable steps being taken after you get off your knees from praying, there's a problem, and we need to start addressing it as such. I think that, for me, the problem is when you have people who say, oh, it's not guns that's the problem, it's the people. And it's like, wow, are you that ignorant or in denial? Or I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's craziness, honestly, because guns do kill people. If a gun is left on the floor, it's not going to kill anyone. If it gets in the hands of people who have bad intentions, who have mental issues, who have grudges against people or teachers or just human beings, they will use that gun to kill people. So yes, while it is not entirely a gun problem, right? Because people use other things to kill people, sadly, but it's true. So, but there is a major problem with guns and the fact that they are so easily accessible. Today, I watched a video of a man who lived in Iowa. I reposted it to my Facebook page. If you're interested in seeing, definitely go check that out. And he's a father of, I believe, 3 or 4 kids, and he drives on the way to school to dropping them off, and he passes every single day, he passes by a gun shop. And I guess today, or whenever he posted it yesterday or something like that, he said, you know what, let me just go and see. And so he went inside and he pretended he was interested in an AR-15, the same exact rifle that was used by this crazy 19-year-old who was able to get one, go into that school, and then kill 17 people. He went inside of the gun shop And again, he was pretending like he was inquiring, he was interested. The owner who worked there was so excited. He said, "Oh yeah, AR-15s, here's a bunch. This is the top of the line one you could get. It's only $400, and this is the ammunition." And he's just like a kid in the candy store selling this guy a gun. And the guy said, "Okay, well, money's kind of tight right now." So, and the guy said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Here's a pamphlet about financing. You don't have to put a penny down today. And you can walk out of here with a gun, sir." He said, "Oh, okay, well, what about background checks? Do you do one, or is there anything that, what's the process for that?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, no worries. Either, when I run background checks, it comes back either instantaneously or within 10 to 15 minutes. And the guy was like, his face just looked like, through his video that he posted, he went live on Facebook, he just looked like he was in such astonishment. He, again, had to play it off there, but when he got back into his car, his mind was so blown, the way that anybody else's mind would or should be blown. If you hear that it takes no money down, just reasonably good credit, and who knows, they might even let you slide if your credit's not that great. You don't have to be, he didn't say that there was any age limit, and he didn't say, and again, the background check was super quick, meaning what? They could miss anything. That's one gun shop. There are a lot of gun shops that don't even do background checks, so that's another issue. But anyway, going back to this guy, he was like, "Okay, I'll think about it." And he was like, "Oh man, you really should take it." He was really trying to push it. And what scared this guy the most, this dad, this concerned dad of 4 children that he drops off to middle school, elementary school, and high school every 5 days a week. He said, what scared me the most was that this gun shop is 5 minutes away from my children's school. And he said, and there's about one almost every 5 to 10 minutes away from every school in this district. And other districts. He said, it just doesn't make sense to me. He said, it's so easy for these kids to go. And he said the only regulation that they had at that gun shop was that there was a sign in the front that said, if you smell like weed, we're not selling you we're not selling you guns. And he was like, wow, so that's what stops people from getting guns? Because you might smell like weed? Because we all know how harmful people are who smoke weed. They are the most dangerous people, folks. Beware for people who smoke weed. That's a different subject for another day. Anyway, so, I totally get that dad's sentiment. It's so easy to get guns. And, part of the problem is that we have people in Congress, in the Senate, in the House, local and state representatives who are doing jack shit about this problem. They talk about, oh, my hearts go out to them. Well, first of all, actually, let me back up. So I found a post by Tomi Lahren, or Lauren, whatever her name is. She's so outrageous, I can't even deal with her. She posted this, and I just thought it was really interesting. And I love the fact that the girl who was actually at that school retweeted her. Or tweeted her back. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know the lingo for it, but she tweeted her back and she said, you weren't there. It was about guns. So it's not the left-wingers, the crazy left-wingers, the liberals trying to push this non-gun agenda. And before anybody who says, oh, I'm just a left-winger who's crazy too, I'm not a left-winger, I'm not a right-winger, I'm kind of an in-betweener, because I see certain points from Democrats and certain points from Republicans. So I'm more of a common senser. So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a party affiliation for me, it's a common sense affiliation for me. And common sense says that the problem is guns. And it's about guns getting into the wrong hands. I'm all for the concerned dad who wants to take care of his family, so he's licensed and registered and trained and keeps a gun in his in his bedside table in case of, God forbid, that moment ever comes up where he has to use it to defend him and his family. I'm all for that. I'm not all for people who are not even of age to drink an alcoholic beverage, who have been reported to the FBI, his local police, and have been proven to have mental issues over the years, who was expelled from the very school that he just went to last week and shot up. I have a problem with him being able to walk in and get an AR-15, or any gun for that matter, but especially an AR-15. I don't know, I'm no genius, but I'm pretty sure an AR-15 shouldn't be sold to anybody who is not in the military. What are you shooting? Even if you're a hunter, for all those people who are like, oh, but I'm a hunter. I think that's horrible too, but okay, if you're going to hunt legally where you can and with certain animals that you can hunt, again, terrible to me, but do you? You don't even need an AR-15, okay? So why are these guns even able to be purchased to anyone, whether you're mentally sane, of age, trained, licensed? It's mind-blowing to me. And again, guns are part of the problem. The other part is the people who obtain them, who shouldn't have them. But even more than that, the people who can make the change who are not making it. It sickens me. I found these facts, and I say facts for a reason. It's not my opinion. And I'm actually going to read from my smartphone, okay, just to give you guys those exact facts. So we're kind of wondering, right? Like, oh, why isn't anything being done? Oh, no president has ever. It's not no president. There are presidents who have made strides or who have tried to make strides. For example, the most recent president before this one, Obama, right? President Obama, you know, he passed some sort of common sense reform in the sense that he had passed a bill for mentally unstable people to make it hard or impossible for them to obtain a gun, right? This fool gets in office, and almost one of his first moves that he makes, and by fool I mean Trump, he gets into office and he repeals that law, making it very easy for somebody who is mentally unfit, unstable, challenged, whatever you want to classify it as, makes it easy for that person to walk right into a gun shop and purchase a gun. How fabulous is that, right? So here are the facts. I typed in people who are getting the largest contributions from the NRA. First of all, I thought that this was a fun fact, right? Fun fact. In the 2016 election, the NRA spent $11.4 million to support Donald Trump. And we wonder why we have a president who won't do anything, who won't even mention gun after a school was just gunned down by a mentally unfit person that he repealed to be able to go get that gun. I'll keep reading. And another $19.7 million to oppose Hillary Clinton. And she was the bad guy? That's over $31 million spent on one presidential race. Over $31 million. I will be including this link just in case if you don't believe me or you don't believe I'm actually reading from something legit. You can read it yourself. Then I wanted to see in more detail, who are the senators who get the most contributions from the NRA? And this is just the most. This isn't saying this is all of them. There are more. But the top 5 people. John McCain, he's the Republican from Arizona. He gets $7.74 million from the NRA. Richard Burr, Republican from North Carolina. He gets $6.99 million. Roy Blunt, Republican from Missouri, $4.55 million from the NRA. Tom Tillis, Republican from North Carolina, $4.42 million. And Cory Gardner, Republican from Colorado, $3.88 million. I guess the most interesting thing to me is that these are some of the people who, if you look at their Twitter feed or their Facebook or public statements or written statements that they've submitted, are the same people who say, oh, my hearts and prayers go out to the families, the ones who lost loved ones, the ones who were affected or not affected, but affected because they were there. My heart goes out to all the children who are grieving, and all that lovey-dovey stuff, right? Are the ones who are getting paid millions of millions on top of millions of dollars from the NRA. Come on. We don't think that's money to keep those people just praying and tweeting and saying, you know, sending their condolences, but actually doing nothing about it. Come on. We can't be that stupid as a country. We just can't. Another interesting fact, if you didn't hear me mention, I purposely said their party. They're all Republicans. And I'm saying that not because Republicans are bad people or Republicans are the problem. I'm just saying that right now, if we look, we have a Republican running the office. I guess if you want to call it running. He's a Republican in the seat. And unfortunately, in that seat, in the office right now, we have a Republican majority in the Senate, in the House. Those are the people who have the absolute ability to change what is going on, and they're not. And why? Exactly. It's raining money on them. Why would they stop? It's not affecting them. It's not affecting their kids. It's not affecting their families. It's affecting their pockets, but in a positive way for them. So they won't change a damn thing. And you know what? There will be more shootings. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm being realistic. There will continue to be more shootings because the world we live in, it's a crazy place, unfortunately. But until we have people who are going to fix it, this will be the continued pattern. Why not? It has been thus far. So why wouldn't it continue without change? Without change, we stay the same. It's kind of how that law works, right? Doesn't matter what party you're a part of, that law applies for everyone. So, you know, getting back to my title, which is why I don't care. It's not that I don't care. I more than care, right? Because care to me, it's just like, yeah, I care about it. But again, we all care about things, then we move on from them, like all the other shootings, right? So I more than care. To me, it's what are we going to do to change it? What are we going to do? Call your state and local representatives. Send in letters. Call the White House. Send letters to the White House. This might sound crazy or stupid or pointless to certain people, but it's not. Even write to the NRA. Get radical. Like this woman who lost a child last week during that Florida shooting, she was livid. She was screaming at the top of her lungs at President Trump to do something. And if we get more people like that, I'm not saying go riot or storm the streets or burn buildings. I'm not saying act stupid. I'm just saying get smart. Make change. Champion for change. March for change. People did that in the past and it actually worked. Why not do it now? Don't just post the generic, typical Facebook memes that say we care. Don't change your Facebook post profile picture to have a border that says we care about Parkland or my heart is with Parkland or my prayers are for Parkland. Like I said, I am a Christian. I believe in praying. But again, get off your knees and go put your feet to the pavement and do something about it. Because guess what? We'll be in this same place in another month, in another month, in another month. And we'll all be saying the same stuff over and over again, unless if we change. It's so easy to access this information. I'm calling my representatives. I'm calling state and local. I don't care who or what I have to do to bother them, to get on their nerves, to expose them. I don't care. I'm going to do it. Because it bothers me too much to sit home every night and just watch the news, you know, talk shit, and then keep going. I'm going to do something. And so I'm kind of reaching out to you guys right now through this camera, and I'm saying, hey, join me. Champion with me. Let's start a dialogue. Again, I picked this crazy title because I wanted you guys to come in here and see why I don't care. Again, I overly care. I do. I don't have children. I don't even particularly want them, but I care about people because I'm a human. And so to me, if at the end of this video you can disagree with anything that I said, you are part of the problem. You and the crazy people who do bad things with these guns are the problem. You need some self-introspection done, and you need to look at yourself and say, hey, what's really wrong with me? Why don't I want these gun reform laws? Why don't I want common sense background checks and things of that nature? Is it because you're afraid that if it kicks in, you won't get a gun? No one's talking about coming and taking your handgun for protection. We're talking about these crazy rifles that people are able to get, like they're in Iraq in the war. That's not what this is. This is America, the land of the home and the free and the brave. And not free to do crazy stuff like get AR-15s, okay? Free to be a good nation, a blessed nation. Why? Blessed to be a blessing. Let's not ruin that, guys. Do the right thing. Call people, march, get people together and plan what are we going to do to change this current situation? I'm going to do it. I vow to do it. Not just sign petitions, not just sit at home anymore, to actually put my feet to the pavement and make a change. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm hoping that you see where I come from. And like I said, if you don't, you're the problem. So I would check within. Because again, I'm not championing for left, right, in between, Green Party. I'm just saying I'm for the people. Okay, I'm for common sense. I'm for love and being kind and not killing each other for senseless things. So let's just come together. Like during times when things like this happen and people seem to come together, let's come together and make something happen. The midterm elections are coming up. We know what to do. Get those people out who are getting funded by the NRA to keep this nonsense going. Things like that. But again, let's just make the world a better place. Let's make our country a better place. Let's actually make America great again. Right? Like that's the thing, right? Make America great again. Thanks for tuning in, guys.